This is Fixing Famous People, the podcast where two reality television producers pitch solutions to save celebrities in dire straits.
But first, let's get to the Pre-Fixe, your weekly pop culture roundup.
Christopher, I'm not a gloater. You know what I mean? I'm not someone who gloats, but I will. Hello, listeners. I will say that I don't know what.
Before you even get there, when I
What?
tell you that the number of people that have texted me saying
It's been absurd. Yeah,
is
absurd.
Dominick okay? Samaya said, "Is Dominick on life support?" She said,
I received more engagement with the listeners of this podcast in the past 24 hours than I have in the past 3 years, with everyone messaging me, "Are you okay? This is insane." And most importantly, you called it. I mean, for 6 months, I have been showing up to
Dominick,
this space
longer.
with an irrational obsession with the Beckhams hashing out their family feud on social media, and then it fucking explodes this week. Whew.
My God.
I don't know what to say. If you don't know what we're talking about, turn your phone on.
You do.
Brooklyn Beckham, to quote the headline from The Sun, which was the first of 400 news agencies to message me, Brooklyn Beckham launches nuclear attack on controlling parents and berates mother in furious tirade. Lord and Lady
attack.
Beckham are reeling this morning, reeling.
I mean, brought them down
this
to
gives
the studs.
To the studs. This gives new meaning to the phrase, "go off, sis," because he did. In a 5-page written Instagram story tirade, he, in his own words, says, "I do not want to reconcile with my family. They have controlled me my entire life. I grew up with anxiety. Everything that they post is performative. My relationships are inauthentic. And worst of all, I shouldn't say worst of all because there's a lot of damning shit in there. But apparently at his wedding, at Brooklyn's wedding,
screaming bloody murder from the top of a rooftop.
I cannot believe it. So apparently Mark Anthony gets up there because the Beckhams hired Mark Anthony. And he gets up there and first says, "Let's bring up the most beautiful woman in the room," who was the mother of the groom, not the bride, apparently. Brooklyn thought he would be dancing his first dance with his wife, and instead, Victoria Beckham slides in there and, according to Brooklyn, dances very inappropriately on him in what was the most embarrassing and humiliating moment of his life.
Oh, my God.
What was Mark Anthony singing? "I touch myself, my neck, my back." What could it have been?
I touch myself.
More importantly, what was Posh Spice doing to her own son?
In the mind when I read it, immediate thought was like she was like grinding on him, which is disgusting.
I don't know. I mean, what could it have? I need to see video of this. You don't understand. I couldn't even fall asleep last night thinking of Posh Spice fingering her son in front of the billionaire Peltz family at their Palm Beach estate.
I mean, it's P.S. How's Mark Anthony doing today? He's like, I never wanted to be a part of this.
That motherfucker's happy for the press. No, I disagree. I think he's like, "Oh, hey, remember me? I'm back."
He's
Tell
like, J-Lo,
me, baby girl, because I need to know. Really, between J-Lo and the Beckhams, Mark Anthony's having quite the 2020s. This is pretty good for him.
Dominick, I was reading it and I was picturing him like copying and pasting it from his notes app or like whatever he did, like which maybe he did a screenshot of it or whatever. But I'm just picturing him like bringing the different files into the Instagram story and just as he's sending them off, like feeling like the weight of the world has been lifted off of his shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah. He's, I went to his, I've been going to his page since this whole started, but for the better part of a year. He does these adorable little, "Hello, let's make chicken palm." And then just makes chicken palm, like,
and you're like,
pretty
okay.
provincially. Yeah. "Let's make a steak sandwich." And then just makes these meals. And I'm not just talking him up because he's cute, as I am wont to do with people.
Sure.
But the recipes are cute. He's super cute. He just seems like the sweetest kid. And I don't know if you know this because we're freshly awake now. But yesterday, David Beckham responded. I guess he was on some sort of CNBC show. And so this morning's alerts are all about, social media is crazy and my children have made some mistakes on social media. You need to be careful.
No.
So, yeah, sort of like dodging it, but it's terrible, like stepping right into it. Like if I'm Brooklyn Beckham, I'm pointing at dad. I'm going, see what I said?
Yeah, like I said
about
this
the
exactly what I
performative,
said.
inauthentic bullshit. Yeah.
What was the thing about like his signing his rights to his name away?
Oh, I don't know about this part. We'll have to investigate. FFD investigates.
There was one paragraph was something about like signing the rights to his name away. And I think it was for like a collaboration with something. Mm-hmm. But then like when he didn't sign his name away, his family got like furious because that meant that like a huge check didn't come in for them.
Right.
And so then they were like insinuating that they were making money allegedly like off of his back and like off of his presence. Mm. And it was
he said in his stories, brand Beckham always came first.
That was like, I think it was right before that it was like something that was like a deal where it's like they lost all this money or they didn't get all this, like they missed out on a paycheck because he wouldn't like, and they were like kind of like accosting him to like sign this contract and he didn't want to.
I also read that, and so now all the theories, until someone clears this up, everyone's just going to keep running at the mouth. I think Brooklyn did a pretty good job citing all of his grievances yesterday. Mm-hmm. As far as where all this started, I did read a report this morning that at a certain point, his brother started dating his ex, and that's where the family feuds sort of began. Mm. And then, of course, the famous stories about Nicola Peltz originally wanted a Victoria Beckham wedding dress and then went public and said, her atelier was unable to do what I wanted, so I'm going with Valentino. And that set Posh off forever. Like she was just going to hate Nicola Peltz forever.
But he said in his thing that Victoria said, I can't make this. No, you need to get another wedding dress. And it was like days before the wedding. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is monster-in-law in real life is what it's shaping up to be. Not to invoke J-Lo a second time in the story, but
I don't know that Victoria Beckham minds that. There's a part of me that think that the Posh thinks that this is a bit of a flex. She's like, you're right. I'm a queen. I am the queen. And you tried it. And if you go against the queen, even if you're my son, you're banished. Brooklyn Beckham is the Prince Harry of the Beckhams. Let's just face it. He is the Prince Harry.
Is he in that Beckham documentary at all? Brooklyn?
I don't know.
I didn't watch one single
There were
two,
don't forget. They had competing. Remember, there was a David one and a Victoria one.
So do I have to now go back? I mean, I'm sure they're going to be number 1 and 2 on Netflix, right?
You definitely don't have to.
Like,
no, you definitely. I don't think anything in it was real. I don't think, according to Brooklyn, everything's performative. So
now I want to go watch it with like a magnifying glass. You know what I mean? And see like every single little thing and like pick up on all the, you know, it's there. You know what I mean? I mean, no, think about the most famous meme of it was like her talking and he's like coming out of the room and he's like, no, don't lie. Say the truth. Remember that? Like that. Yeah. So like, that has a whole new meaning. Mm-hmm. Oh God, Dominic, this is a bloodbath. This was a bloodbath and it's going to continue.
This is our 2026. This is the All's Fair of 2026, but it's real life people.
Dominic, dare I nay, sing. This is me now. That's what
I don't know why you're singing that. Oh, that it sure is.
Like it's this level. We were like on our like freaking.
That was a winter gift too. That J-Lo, This Is Me Now. That was a winter gift, just like the Beckhams are. This is so not over. It's like it's only.
It hasn't even started. It hasn't even really started yet. The
Beckhams have 4 children that will terrorize them for the rest of their lives. Cruz, Romeo, Harper, you're up next. Expose, you are always welcome on the mic at Fixing Famous People if you want to help us fix your parents, because obviously that's coming up sometime in Q1. We need to get the Beckhams in the operating room. Yeah, we got to
immediately put on the list. Put on the list. Mm-hmm. It's honestly too soon.
That's why I'm saying Q1. I'm thinking like a St. Patrick's Day moment. Yeah. Like that might be like when the dust settles and everyone has said more things that they regret, and then we'll just sweep it all up and look at the dust bin.
My God. What's going on in
Well,
their house?
I don't know. That's our broadcast for this week. I can't think of anything else that matters more than this. So
truly.
Just love each other. Goodbye.
Oh, God.
No. Speaking of showgirls, I know I always say we're not going to discuss politics, and then we do accidentally, but I will say we're not discussing politics. However, Nicki Minaj versus Don Lemon is also the story I didn't know that I needed to salivate over. I can't. Long story short, Don Lemon and some people go into a church with protesters in Minnesota for reasons you can listen to on every other podcast. Nicki Minaj then takes to Twitter and goes off on Don Lemon for participating in this activity and refers to him as cocksucker Lemon. Now, first of all, I mean, as far as we know, accurate information shouldn't really be considered a slur, but she only did that because she didn't want to put the F word in print, obviously.
Yes, of course.
So, what happens is when celebrities do what they do, which is pull focus in this way, now no one remembers why Don Lemon or those people stormed into that church. Now we're all just concerned about, what about all of Nicki Minaj's gay fans? Okay. Well,
again.
So if you are a gay person that is a fan of Nicki Minaj, I don't know what else to say except that's your fucking problem. Like I don't understand it, nor do I even want to try.
And when she was on, when she was up there with Erica Kirk, and everyone could try to say, "Oh no, that's not what she said. She didn't mean that. She meant this."
She said it.
This is right there, it clear as day in print, baby. So there you go.
Of course, Don Lemon salivates at the chance to respond.
So happy. He was so happy that this happened to him.
He went.
He's been dreaming of this. He's been dreaming of this for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm starting to like Don Lemon, though. I don't know why. I still think he's like an absolute loon, but I don't know why. Because it's like him versus Nicki Minaj, and we don't like Nicki Minaj anymore. Now Don Lemon is a hero. Who knew that we would end January with Brooklyn Beckham and Don Lemon sitting atop the pop culture hero pile?
But it's also like he loves to get into the muck. And so when someone wades into the muck with him, he's like horny with glee. Do you know what I mean? Like he's like chomping at the bit, as I like to say.
Oh, yeah. I believe he had an actual erection when he was delivering his response. I'm not even joking. He probably had 2 fingers in his butthole while he was doing it.
Oh, my God.
He was like, Don Lemon 2026, baby. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of muck, let's move on to the latest with this Timothy Busfield. I mean, this bitch is toast. Like, it's not.
You think?
Toast. Other people look. Once the other people come forward story hits,
you're done.
You're done. So other people have come forward. We don't even need to get into the details, but there was someone who is saying that she was 16 when he was inappropriate with her several years ago. This is done. And in the middle of it, Melissa Gilbert, who she wrote a letter to the judge, apparently several of them, talking about how sweet her husband is and please protect him in jail because he's innocent of these charges. This letter goes public. Melissa Gilbert now just looks like Lady Macbeth at this point.
Who is she?
It's like,
Ashton Kutcher? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
haven't you learned anything?
Yeah, just leave this alone. And why that letter went public, I have no idea. She's standing by his side.
It always does. Someone that listens to this podcast at like the county clerk's office is like, let me just fax this really quickly to TMZ. Do you know what I mean? They're like,
it's Posh Spice. She's releasing everyone's private information now. So it's just, it's so funny to me because how many years have gone by since we've had a conversation about Melissa Gilbert? 3 weeks ago, we randomly talk about her reuniting with her Little House co-stars. And like 48 hours later, her husband, who most people had never heard of until 2 weeks ago, gets arrested for assault. Pretty
I think
amazing.
Right before that, she was like putting on Instagram that she met Brittany Bateman from Salt Lake City, like the friend of on Salt Lake City. And she was saying that like Brittany was all like she wrote this big long thing in her Instagram story about how like she had met Brittany like near the plaza in New York. And she was still with the guy, the Osmond she was dating, and kind of like giving the tea on like what Brittany was like in real life, like on Instagram. And like, there was like a bunch of stuff going on with that. So like that was right before the like I made up with my co-star. So I think she got a little taste of fame again from the Instagram story and was like, let's do it.
Yeah. I see that.
You know what I mean? And then now look where she's ended up. Not like
those clicks. Those clicks are addicting. Likes are addicting. Those clicks are like licks, baby. Once they start piling up, you got to get more. You got to chase that dragon. They love it.
Oh God.
right, let's switch to a little bit of good news before we move on to the rest of the horror that is pop culture 2026. It's a bloodbath. Rebecca Bregman sent the group chat something this morning saying, we need Wendy Williams back because celebrities are out of control.
Yeah.
Maybe celebrities have lost control because Wendy hasn't been around. Maybe
they're not as scared. They're not as scared to go and like be idiots. You know what I mean? Because they know that she would like flambe them on her show.
Mm-hmm. They're certainly not afraid of us, but we'll keep doing what we do. Harry Styles is back. Let's see how many British white men we could cram into the A block of this podcast.
For real.
Harry Styles is back. His new album is called Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. This is it. And we knew this was coming because he did a little bit of a teaser a few weeks ago, and he announced another residency at Madison Square Garden, which is fun. And here he comes. The irony, however, because remember his last album shockingly won Album of the Year over one Beyonce Louise Knowles's Renaissance. And he's now releasing an album that seems to be the same kind of music that album was. More than one person has been noting it on the old Twitters and X's and all those things. Sort of like really, girl? I mean, no one expected him to release a country album, but him just blatantly being, now let's dance.
Also, be gay. I'm sick of it. Be gay. I'm really.
You think so?
Like it's come out of the closet for the love of God. 1, 2. Give me the name of the title of the album again, because my eyes crossed whenever you said it. Kiss All the Time. Kiss All the Time. Period. Disco, occasionally. Harry Styles thinks that she's Fiona Apple now. Like just call it Harry too, and let's be done with that. What in the Lana Del Rey am I listening to?
Exactly. Exactly.
What?
Well, he got my attention. I don't know, Harry. I'm sure the music will be good. I like the last one. Whip out your dick. I don't know.
Sure, but I just I'm nervous. I don't know. That title is giving me pause, is what I will say.
Did you like those 5 seconds of silence? Did you see what I did there? I gave you a pause.
Goodbye. I have to leave.
Is the Kelly Clarkson show done? The rumor mill is at a fever pitch that this will be the last season, that she has just had enough. I mean, God knows she's been through the ringer since the show started, through it all, getting a divorce, and then the ex dies and she moved her family to New York and yada, yada, yada. Also, a daytime talk show among the hardest entertainment jobs
100%.
in the biz. It is 100%. It is a lifestyle. It's not even a job, even if you're hosting it. I mean, you surrender to it. You're doing at least 200 shows a year. And she might just be
quick.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're moving. You're never
all the time. She probably just wants to spend some time with her kids. And you know what? I don't question Kelly Clarkson's judgment. If you want to be done, you be done. We're going to love you no matter what.
Well, and she probably was like, I made all that money back that I had to give my fucking piece of shit ex-husband that he stole from me. You know what I mean? Like she's like, I have all this money now. I don't need to do this anymore. Because karaoke has like single-handedly like brought me back to the world.
Yeah, it's like reinvented music, actually.
Yeah.
It's put her on the Mount Rushmore of voices, by the way. Like I'm almost willing to, I'm not putting her on par with Whitney, but she's at least on that mountain now. Like she can sing fucking anything. Yeah.
When you go back and watch, like I randomly one time was like going back and watching old like performances of her on American Idol, like season 1. And you see her and you're like, oh, she's like incredible. Like when you, like we like didn't appreciate how amazing she was. And then to like, when you go back and listen to her original music, I mean, obviously Since You've Been Gone is like a humongous song, but like when you really listen to her voice in it, you're like, oh, no one can sing the song. Like she's such an incredible singer. And we kind of like forgot about her, I feel like, for like a good 10 years. But now she's like so back. Like I would go to one of her concerts like tomorrow. You
look at those old clips and you think to yourself, how did we think Justin Guarini even had a chance here? How did we even, why did we pretend this was a nail biter when there was not even
no contest, as they like to say.
And Justin Guarini now, I believe, is the front desk man at a Ramada somewhere in Austin, Texas.
But like actually, probably. I thought you were going to say he worked
at
the Chick-fil-A.
It's a job.
In Temecula. He worked at the Chick-fil-A in Temecula.
No, they won't. He's got to work 7 days a week to pay his bills. They close on Sundays, so he can't. True.
Did you see that Wendy's and Chick-fil-A have a billboard beef? Did you see this?
No.
The one thing was like, you can get chicken on, because Wendy's now has tendies.
Oh,
and so there was a thing that was like, it was like, you can get chicken on Sunday here or whatever. And I was like, okay, not like, don't fight, but like, it's kind of funny.
Do you know there's a Chick-fil-A right outside in the Bronx, which I think is bizarre anyway, but it's right next door to my gym. So when I'm on the treadmill, I have no choice but to stare at Chick-fil-A. And I'm not going to lie, it makes me hungry every day. Because before we knew, before we knew, they were good. I mean, when
the waffle fries I always loved.
When I was in Atlanta, I would be mad on Sundays because I knew Chick-fil-A was closed, because that's a great hangover day and it's great hangover food.
Yeah,
but then when I found out who they were donating to, I'm not a perfect person, but I don't eat at Chick-fil-A.
No, I don't
know. My body's just conditioned to. But for the record, I'd like to say I really would like to, but I don't.
You're just putting that out there, so you
kind of
letting them know that they're missing out on business.
Right after we stopped recording last week, the announcement. Truly, I mean, we'll joke about the Beckhams and everything, but truly the announcement of the year for me thus far is Jonathan Bailey and Ariana Grande appearing in Sunday in the Park with George on the West End in 2027. My God.
No, we're going. We're going.
Great.
We're going. That's an immediate. That's a front row situation. Like, what was it, Nathan Lane and Becky in that play, whatever that play was that they're going to do together. Like, that's a front row
in Death
situation.
of a Salesman. Yeah.
Yes.
This is.
It is Death of a Salesman.
It is.
Yeah, we're front
huge.
row.
Yeah, and I think they're going to kill it. Like, after Wicked, I do not deny this woman's musical theater at all. I think she can do anything. And what I think is great is that Sunday in the Park is definitely one of the best musicals of all time, as far as I'm concerned. Mm-hmm. And I do think that these two being in it is going to bring a younger audience to the theater. And Sunday in the Park is also, it's a little cerebral. You know what I mean? Like, it's about art and and making art. And it's a good musical for people who have like dabbled in musical theater to sort of like look at one of the greats. And it's Sondheim and Lapine. It's a great, I know, I understand that I sound like a theater geek, which I am. It's just, it's so great.
Guilty,
and to have people
charged.
To have people this big in this musical, I think is pretty fantastic.
A great move for both of them to like
100%.
Right after like
he's
the biggest
so good
thing.
on stage too. If you ever Google him in Company, the revival of Company that they did on the West End, he didn't bring it to the US, but he did it on the West End, and his version is really good, like very Googleable. Pull over and Google it. He's really good. And he won the Olivier for it as well.
And Cynthia's posting her Dracula teeth. Did you see that?
No, she
like
looks very intense. She looks very intense. And now we'll talk about a story that I suspect we will only talk about for a period of less than 10 seconds.
Okay.
Lanithia Leakes, known to the world as Nene, has announced that she is returning to Bravo and will appear on a television program called The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip 20th Anniversary. Isn't that fun, Chris? What do you have to say about it?
Legally, I must say, no comment. But, I'm going to give
so
one word.
So much more to come. Go ahead.
I'm going to give one word, and that word is tectonic.
Seismic. We're going to move on from that. We will be talking about that little nugget much, much more in the months to come. So your weekly update on the Ashley Tisdale toxic mom group.
I'm mad that we've taken this long to talk about it. Go ahead.
Well, someone's making it into a movie.
Hollywood is out of their minds. Like, when someone famous farts and they're like, this is a series, like, some charlatan like called her and was like, let's make this a movie. Let's do it together. Blah, blah. Like, they want to side. Like, if this thing went crazy and like went Beckham's style and went like, is like going to be a saga, they're like, we have to get the rights to this now when it's nothing, so that we can then like rake her over the coals and give her like 2% of like the biggest thing in the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and absolutely. And that's the thing. They're not even giving it a chance to bake a little bit. Like, we don't even, there's so many shoes haven't dropped yet. I need all of these women in a room with Diane Sawyer or Andy Cohen. I need some sort of untucked situation. I need to know what's going to happen. I need to look at the texts between everybody.
Yeah.
That's all. That's what I want. You know what I want? I want Ashley Tisdale's SIM card. That's what I want. That's what would make me happy.
Not her SIM card.
Because I want to see who texted her. Like, are you out of your fucking mind doing this, lady? That's what I want.
I want to know so badly. I want to know. I just need to know it all. I know, it's there, and it's bad.
I want them to make a mockery of it. I want the movie to be, instead of like all of these younger white women, I want everyone in the cast to be portrayed by like an elderly gay man, like Ian McKellen. That's what I want. Because I want them to see how ridiculous this whole story is, and I want these guys to do it.
Sir Patrick Stewart plays
Why not?
Plays
he's
like
gayish, right?
Tisdale.
I mean, I think he's. He's gayish. He's gay enough. That's who I want in this cast. Nathan Lane, although I wouldn't say he's like.
It's never going to be a series, right?
No, it's going to be on Tubi.
At this point, I keep seeing these things for the beauty. I know we talked about it last week, but like basically the substance, Ryan Murphy's The Substance. And I'm like, I cannot believe that they were like, let's make this show after The Substance was such a hit like movie. Like
they don't care.
It is unconscionable to me.
They don't
like
care.
It's oh God.
I can't for the life of me remember who did this, but someone posted online this week, speaking of Ryan Murphy, the stars of Heated Rivalry, what are their names? Connor Story and Hudson Williams. Someone did an impassioned plea and said, Ryan Murphy, stay away from Connor Story and Hudson Williams. Stay away from them. I can smell you in your house thinking of how to ruin them and how to get them in one of your series. Don't do it.
That person is so right. And that would be jumping the shark for them, in my opinion. That would be them they're like, I would feel bad for them if they were then in a Ryan Murphy thing. I'd be like, oh, they didn't get a movie role and now they're in The Substance on FX, like whatever the fuck it's called, Beauty.
Yep.
Kill me, by the way.
I got to be honest, though. I mean, I love the show. I'm happy for the visibility. I think the show itself is great. I think they're great in it. Hudson Williams, I need to put him under the stake lamp for a minute. He needs to rest. He needs to rest.
He needs to pipe it.
He went to the opening of every envelope he could find in the past 4 weeks. And now it's time to just chill out for a minute. Just binge something. Stay home.
Not binge something. And giving my least favorite thing, which is like Katy Perry's like shit-eating grin. Like, can you believe that I'm here? And it's like, yeah, we can.
Yeah. Yep, we can. And you're gorgeous. And you're starting to just hang back until season 2.
Pipe it.
Like you're going to be in our lives certainly until we're dead. Like he's hot enough that we're never going to hear the end of him, which is great.
Actor. No, he's a good
great.
actor.
He's great.
Of course.
He's great.
Yes. But no, Whereas Connor, I feel like the other one, Connor, is doing the like correct thing, which is like being there, but being a little elusive. And like he's there and he's about the craft and about you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Can I tell you why without sounding like a complete, like gay Clint Eastwood on my porch with a gun? Because Connor's the gay one. That's why. Because gay people are a little more sensitive to, I don't know, the pop cultural issues of being overexposed and all that. Like he knows what he's doing. Hudson is a dumb, hot, straight guy who's just like, I'm going to go everywhere and just shake my hair.
Speaking of,
and he looks good doing it.
He's like, speaking of cocksucker, he's like, remember when I did that in that show? You know what I mean? Like it's giving that, sadly.
That Connor Story does a very convincing Russian accent, though. I got to say, I thought he was actually Russian the first time I watched the series.
No, me too. I didn't know who he was. So
Not that I've watched it 13 times. What are you talking about? I've only watched it once.
Wait, did you see that? Because Connor and then the guy that's like plays the guy that comes out, his name's like Francois or whatever.
Francois,
because they showed up. Women, hello. Is it tap, tap, tap? Is this thing on?
Is it on? Is this thing on?
Women that watch this show that are mentally ill, come forward. Listen to me. These people are playing characters. They were getting like, what's his name? Francois something.
Right.
He was getting like death threats because they were going on a plane together.
Yeah. Well, because they were at the air. First of all, these guys are together all the time right now because they're doing pretty constant press for the show.
Yes.
They're also friends because they worked on a television show together. The thing that got me crazy is that some people started using the word grooming because Connor's Story is about like 23, 24 years old. And Francois is in his early 40s. And people are coming forward saying, stay away from Ilya, who's Connor's character. Stop grooming him. He's too young for you. And I'm like, ladies, whoa, whoa, whoa. We've welcomed you here. Don't start using words like grooming. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm speaking as someone middle-aged who dates younger people. I took the accusations personally.
You felt the attack. No, also, like, they could be getting on a flight to, like, go do press somewhere. Like, they probably were booked together on a flight because they're both flying somewhere to, like, go do a junket. I don't know.
Yeah, or also, they could be on a private plane fucking. Who cares? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No, this is like...
Bitch, you know what grooming means?
I saw that and I was like, this is... People are meant... Like, people really... It's bad. This is bad. Like, this is a character and an actor.
The female audience for the show is still wonderful and perplexing to me. How it is a mostly female audience, and they are very, very, very into it.
Yeah.
Does this mean that women are going to want to start to have butt sex more? Do you think that that's going to be the impact of the series?
It's because there's like no like gross man that's like disgusting in it. Do you know what I mean? That's like banging a woman and it's like gross. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, these people like are into each other. It's not like like horrific.
There are gross gays in the world, though. I mean, there certainly are. It's just Francois Arnault is not one of them, and he's not grooming Connor Story. Stop making your own Arnault.
Arnault. No, I'm saying I didn't know what his name was, and you knew it. I was saying Francois something. So I'm glad that you at least know his last name.
He's been very upset about it. When he's been interviewed about it, he's like, it really took him by surprise that people were being so mean and using these very aggressive words toward him. And he's just like, we really are just friends and got on a plane together.
And that's to me is none of your goddamned business.
Yeah, I hope that they're fucking though. I'm not going to lie about that.
I would love it. I would love it.
Yeah, that's what I want. And we want to see it.
Not a love. Yeah. Season 2,
do that
baby.
In season 2. Yes. Yeah, do that in season 2.
There needs to be like a key party with the 4 of them and the second season. No, yes, hello.
No, I mean, sure. Okay, speaking of grooming, how am I going to get out of this one?
Okay.
You know who's saying they're not having sex is this rumored girlfriend of Keith Urban. A few days ago, the internet blew up with Keith Urban is living with his girlfriend now, and the family, his daughters aren't speaking to him. Well, this woman, who is a country singer named Carly Scott Collins, has come forward and said...
A country singer named Fire Rose.
Carly Scott Collins comes forward and says, this is all false. Please leave me alone. Stop sending me death threats. This isn't what's happening here. But it was also sort of like a non-committal denial. It's just sort of like people need to mind their own business. I'm an artist, blah, blah, blah. To which I say, Carly Scott, we know who you are now. So just run with it. Hurry up and release an album before we forget.
But also, are we upset that Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman are no longer together? I'm happy.
Honestly, no one.
I want her away from him.
Truly.
You know what I'm saying?
Francois Arnault and Keith Urban can fuck whoever they want, actually.
Yeah,
they can do whatever. Yeah.
Oh my God, be with that low rent woman that's like with it. You know what I mean? Like, let our goddess be alone and untouched, like from your straighteners. Not low rent woman.
Good luck, Keith Urban. We're going to be talking about him less and less as the years go by. Because without Nicole, he's just going to sort of fade away.
He won't be at the Oscars.
No.
And
if he is, we won't see him because he's only 5 feet tall. Farrah Abraham is running for mayor of Austin.
I have to leave. I actually need to go to like throw myself off of a balcony. I have to leave.
Farrah Abraham, the original teen mom, is running for the mayor of Austin. The elections is a good 2 years away, I might add. But she has already listed her. Oh yes, yes. She's just decided now she's going to announce it. She released her platitudes on the Instagram, and that's it. I don't know what else to say about it except with her running Austin, Spencer Pratt running California, and then Trish Paytas in Congress. I don't know. I don't know what else. I don't know. If Hudson Williams was an American citizen, he'd probably seek the Democratic nomination for president in 2028. Like, it's getting insane. It's getting insane.
I think it was Natalie. I think DM was like, this is because of, like, the reason she feels emboldened to do this is because of Spencer. And I was like, it's true.
Obviously.
100%.
Obviously.
Yeah. Is her mom still doing rap songs? Have you ever seen her mom's music videos?
Who?
Farrah Abraham's
Farrah's mother? No.
Deb's
No.
OG, as she calls herself.
I know
in the rap world.
about them, but I've not followed her very
don't
closely.
look. Don't look. It's not good, and you're not going to be very upset.
Speaking of absolute clownery, it is my pleasure to tell you that the invite list for the TJ Lutelius Holmes and Amy Robach nuptials has been circulating. They will not be inviting any of their former Good Morning America colleagues. It would be strange to invite the people who fired you to your wedding.
Yeah.
So no surprise there. But they will be inviting their ex-spouses who, as you know, are a couple themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's Andrew Shue. I always want to call him Billy because that was his character on Melrose. Andrew Shue.
Yeah.
And I can't remember her first name, but I know it's like Freibig is her last name. I can't remember Lutelius's ex-wife.
I just remember that they're hotter than them. Like that they
are
they're the
hotter
more
and
attractive
definitely
couple.
happier. So the exes will be invited. They are at this point not expected to attend. It's more of like a courtesy invite because I'm sure that their joint children will be in the wedding or whatever. Yeah. I am sure that it is the only thing they will talk about on their podcast for the next year until it actually happens. And in 2 years from now, I have bookmarked for us to finally talk about these two getting divorced, which is the only way this story ends ever in any universe, in any multiverse. This is not a long haul. I bet they're exhausted already from having to stay together to just prove it was worth the trouble. It's not. Nobody
I'm
is
surprised
worth
that
that trouble.
they didn't get married like 2 years ago. Like, I'm surprised it took them this long to get married, like to be getting married.
Well, I would like an invite to the wedding. If Billy Shue doesn't go, invite us. We'll go.
Can't we? They'll go. Don't you think they'll go together hand in hand walking down?
No.
I would. Wouldn't you?
They don't, because they know there's going to be two. They want to stay out of the spotlight, those two. They're not interested in.
Well, and they know that the two of them, Lutelius and Amy, have like done like a people.com like they have like a People exclusive for their wedding, I'm sure, or Us Weekly.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, and then they're going to try to rope them into the pictures of like, look, we're all together and it's fine. And then the other two are going to be like, absolutely.
That's exactly, you are spot on. That's what they want,
right?
Because they feel like that blessing is going to legitimize them, and it's just never going to happen.
No,
it's never going to happen. What they should do, Andrew and TJ's ex, is they should show up to that wedding with an announcement that they got married at City Hall just a few weeks prior and just steal all the thunder.
And she walks in like a white suit. She's in a white suit.
Sure,
like,
why not? That's even better. Yeah, we didn't want cameras there. We're really in love. So we wanted to just do it privately, and we're not even going to post it on Instagram. But yeah, we've been married for quite some time. And then make Amy and TJ look even worse. You're welcome, Andrew Shue. You're welcome, Andrew Shoes. So when Prince Harry goes to England, he's due to return. The Prince and Princess of Wales, Wills and Kate, will apparently be hundreds of miles away. They will not be seeing him when he returns. Yeah. Not really a surprise. This is going to be, it's actually, I think, happening now or within the next couple of days. They're going to be doing a joint engagement in Scotland because Harry is going to be in London within the next couple of days because of his trial against the publisher of the Daily Mail. This has been going on for years. I thought that this was over, but
I know. And I want to know more about it. Why don't we? Well, because the Daily Mail would be who would be reporting on it normally. And so they're not going to report on their own lawsuits.
The Daily Mail is definitely the most, they send the most alerts. I'm going to say that. They beat the Hollywood Reporter. Like, oh yeah. To me, yeah, they send the most. They send the most things.
And more than People's True Crime?
Yeah. And, the People is actually pulled back on the true crime in 2026, as far as my getting like,
okay,
a little bit. Maybe they've done a resolution. I don't get like overturned school bus emails and all sorts of other shit that people.com loves to send me.
I will literally, there's a few moments of this podcast that I'll never forget. And I will never forget when we were recording our all tier advice. And then we had to come back on the mic to like talk because you had opened up your email when we were like all saying goodbye. And it was like mother that killed both of her kids now like runs her car off a cliff and like, something like that.
It's always a real day improver when they send something.
The title was like Mad Libs Gone Wrong. It was like 17 different sentences put together.
They love it. They terrorize the people.com in some ways is a terror organization. Yeah. Send some good
tragedy. Oh God.
A fun little story. I don't know how fun it is, but remember what Seth Rogen executive produced, and I think had a supporting role in that miniseries that talked about the Pam Anderson, Tommy Lee relationship and sex tape. Yes. And so Pamela Anderson was giving a couple of interviews post Golden Globes last week and does not like Seth Rogen. She was like, I saw him at the Golden Globes, but what am I supposed to say to him? Like, hey, thanks for making a miniseries about my life without even calling me to see if it was okay or true or anything like that. Like, it was terrible. It was the worst time in my life. And this person made money off of it. So it's like, I see him and then I want to go home. It was kind of sad, actually. And it was like, I love this act, by the way, this Pam Anderson. I want to dive much deeper into what she's doing now. Apparently she's got like 5 movies in the can. Naked Gun was a hit this year. They're probably going to do a sequel. And obviously the year before that, she almost got an Oscar nomination for The Last Showgirl, which she was fantastic in. I didn't think the movie was particularly groundbreaking, but she was really good in it.
Yeah.
And she continues to show up looking gorgeous and makeup free at all of these events. Like, I really did think it was going to be performative. Remember when Alicia Keys was like, I'm not going to wear makeup, and then like a day later
and then
she was
did.
Like, except for this eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Pam's committed. She's like, this is my life now.
I think she wears like something. It's not like nothing.
She probably does like a little Il Maquillage, like a little foundation,
like
or
there's something there. But like it's
barefaced. Yeah, she's not going in drag. It's not like a full beat, as we would say.
Do you think it's as soon as they contact her about it, then like a legality happens? Like, do you think that he didn't say anything to her, like about the show? Like being like, I want to make this show about your life. And the minute that they like make contact with her, it then turns into a legal nightmare. I feel like that's what it is.
Probably.
To not even call her and be like, hey, what is your side of this?
It seems real douchey.
As a filmmaker, you want that. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sure
you want her to tell you some story that's like, when we were on that boat, and we all remember the boat. Like, I actually like went into the bathroom for a minute and like cried because I felt like I was out of control or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then and I completely made that up, but that I want to see.
Yeah.
Not like his version of what he thinks happened on the boat.
Why don't we make a movie about the making of that movie?
Great.
And then we'll get all the stories out. It does seem douchey, though. I'm sure if you ask Seth Rogen about it, he would say, oh, my people did reach out to her people, but like he'll come up with some bullshit reason. But Pam Anderson, not a fan.
Because it was so public, it doesn't have to be. Like, he doesn't have to actually get the rights from her because it's like a public thing.
Correct.
Like, that's the thing. It's like, don't you sue for your life rights? But it's like, because you're famous, you can't. I don't know.
By the way, a programming note, not a programming note, just a correction. Last week, I had expressed my dismay at not being fully convinced that we'd known how Gene Hackman and his wife died last year. And a listener took the time to write in and say that every time that I say that, she feels like I'm gaslighting her because she feels like the case is closed, and did send me an article. Gene Hackman's wife, Betsy Arakawa, was bitten by a rat and died from, an infection or a virus associated with that. And then probably 10 days later, Gene Hackman, who had dementia and a series of other problems, passed away. A very sad story. This can't be the last story in the Pre-Fixe. I have to find some good news on this list. But
not bitten by a rat.
Yeah, and I don't know why I don't know why it's still not enough for me. I mean, I'll accept that's the answer.
Yeah,
I just don't. You know what it is? And some of the articles, I did a mini dive after this listener sent me this stuff. The question is like, why was the level of care for these people of means so poor? And how did their families not know that they didn't hear from them for weeks? I have questions still. I appreciate the listener who wrote in. I will abide by the coroner's report about these. It's still a wild story. I just want to know where his family was. I just want to know.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars has set a ticket record, apparently. He broke the Live Nation record for single day ticket sales. He's got a tour coming up, and he sold, and I thought I was misreading this, 2.1 million tickets in one day for his upcoming The Romantic tour.
People
That's the
love
name of
them.
the tour, the romantic tour.
Okay, it's better than, what was it, like Smile a Lot? What?
Smile a lot. That was it. The I'm Missing a Tooth tour.
Oh, kissing a lot. No, kissing every day or something, whatever the fuck.
Are you talking about Harry Styles?
Yes.
Kiss all the time, disco occasionally. You're going to have to commit this to memory. It's going to win Grammys. You know that it will.
Okay, but the romantic tour. I mean, people love him. And he hasn't like done anything in a while. So that's, I think, why.
Let's finish with this story because it seems to make no sense to me when you hear the headline and then you hear how Hollywood sort of backed us into this. Zoe Saldana, or Saldana, Academy Award winner for one of Chris's favorite films, Emilia Perez.
Goodbye.
She is the highest grossing actor of all time. I love when they release statistics like this because with the release of Avatar, Fire and Ash, she is now listed as the highest grossing actor of all time because she's been in the Avatar movies and the Marvel movies. And so there is a person that compiles all this information and says what one person was in all of this. So this is now the most bankable Hollywood actor is what we're being led.
But is that because she made that money or like because the movies made so much money?
The movie. That's the issue is that the movies make this money and they list her. No, and then she like issues a statement talking about what an honor it is. And it's like, why are you perpetuating this? You're not the highest grossing actor of all. You're not. You're in some of the higher grossing films. Yeah. Like I think highest grossing actor of all time, I think Harrison Ford. Like that's a name that you put up there. Tom Cruise, you know?
No, but I think that because Avatar made so much money, like the first one, like made so much money.
But how can you ascribe the success of those movies to any actor when we don't even know who the hell is who in that movie? They're cartoons. Are we referring to it as Zoe Saldana's Avatar, Fire and Ash? No,
I know what you mean. She is, but I will say she is in a lot of blockbuster movies. She's a very bankable blockbuster
She's a
star.
reliable.
I find her great in them.
She is good. She is good. She was good in Emilia Perez.
She gave us the theme song for our podcast, Penis to Vagina.
Right.
And
just to be clear, that's your theme song for this podcast. I do not.
It's just my personal theme song is honestly what it is.
I have no allegiance to that tune.
Hello, I'd really like to meet you. I'd like to ask you about sex change operation. Never forget. She was beautiful in that movie.
She was. And look, I will say congratulations to if this is what's necessary, I'll say congratulations to her.
Okay, great.
I did sit through Fire and Ash. I watched it recently. It was way too long. And I don't know if I've discussed this here, but like Sigourney Weaver.
Yes, you have, but continue.
Okay. Yeah. I'll never be over it.
No, go. You only spoke a little
Sigourney Weaver's 75 years old and she is voicing a 14 or 15-year-old character in the movie. I understand it's a cartoon and we're doing space-time continuum, whatever. And it's like it's very distracting.
It's very like Jesus Christ, right? It's like her soul was like put in this little body or something like that. Like it's
very distracting to hear an elderly woman say, "But Daddy, I love him." It's like, what are you talking about?
And James Cameron's like, do people want to see the other ones of these movies? Like, yeah, I wonder why people are questioning.
It's too much already. There's already 9 hours of it. We're good.
Yeah. And like, not much has happened. Anyway. Okay, we have to go. So
we're
Dominick,
fixing Broadway today. Our old friend Jess Rothschild joins us today to fix Broadway. Speaking of Broadway, Alicia Keys' Hell's Kitchen is closing, so you only have a few weeks to go see that. I only know a handful of people who've seen it. They rather enjoyed it. I did not see it. Hell's Kitchen, of course, to me, is the musical that was too loud playing next door to Patti LuPone in her formerly on Broadway play, The Roommate. So that's what Hell's Kitchen will always mean to me. The musical that lowered its volume because Patti LuPone said they should.
Was mad at them.
I mean, she's always mad. That's just what she was mad about that day.
Yeah.
Coming up on the a la carte, Shannon Doherty's ex is still a dirtbag. Keith Sutherland has been arrested for threatening his Uber driver.
No, saw that.
And Blake Lively, in the next phase of the never-ending trial with Justin Baldoni, has hired the lawyer that represented Jeffrey Epstein's victims. I am so tired of this one. I'm so tired of this whole. You know what? We may not even talk about it on the a la carte.
Okay,
this might just be it. We might not. Also, Kim Kardashian continues to be a working actress. Thank good, because she really needs the work. And we'll tell you about her next preposterous project in 1 minute. Jesus Christ. See you after these vital messages.
Dominick, we have a returning guest, a friend of the pod, a friend in real life, one of our greatest friends as a duo. Jess Rothschild from Hot Takes and Deep Dives. You guys know her. I don't even need to do this. She's been on so many times.
Hello. God, we have fixed Michael Patrick King, all the greats.
All the greats. At the time of this recording, we're in the basically the playoffs of what's going to win best episode. And I will say the Michael Patrick King episode is getting some good votes. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, is that right?
It's in the running. I think you may get a nomination.
Wow. Oh,
I'm just telling you. I reached out to you. I was like, what's up? Come back on, please. We need you.
And my first question was, I'll do it only if you tell me who canceled on you.
Yeah, she was like, who canceled? I was the last minute. I was like, no one. I just never booked another person.
No one canceled.
For this.
We just,
I just didn't.
Sometimes we wait for inspiration sometimes, to see who's available.
And we just want to have you. I mean, you're one of the friends of the pod, like the real friends of the pod. And so we're like, always like, Jess will come through in a pinch. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And I was like, who do you want to fix? And you were like, none of these people. And you said, I want to fix.
Listen, I can't come on here and try to fix like Taylor Lautner. Like, I don't even know or care. Like all that list. Like I could, if half those people walked in my apartment, I'd be like, did I leave something downstairs? Like,
hence why they're on the list, Jess. Yeah. That's the point, is that you don't even remember them.
By the way, there are at least 10,000 women in their early 40s who almost just steered off the expressway because they would have rather that we fix Taylor Lautner, by the way.
Why? Or that he had come into their apartment, by the way. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So he could fix them.
Yes. Yeah. Sexually. But you said my biggest grievance, or the thing I need most fixed, is Broadway. And by Broadway, you mean like the New York theater.
New York theater, large and I just have a lot of thoughts and opinions and things that I love and things that I cannot stand about when we think of like theater in general. So everything from a black box theater, like I can talk about what works there, what doesn't work there, to a cabaret stage like Joe's Pub, to Broadway, to Sunset Boulevard.
The Great White Way.
The Great White, correct.
Before we go any further, Dominick, do we have someone's middle name that we're going to?
We certainly do. We certainly do, because I was going to come on here and say, what is Andrew Lloyd Webber's middle name? And then I thought to myself, it's probably Lloyd. It's probably Lloyd. So I thought today we would do two people. All right. Broadway's a big broad. And I thought we'd do the middle names of two broads on today's show. I'm speaking none other than the queens of Broadway, the rumored feuding queens of Broadway, Ms. Patti LuPone and Ms. Audra McDonald. We will be guessing middle names.
For one whole second, I thought you were going to do Rodgers and Hammerstein. Which would have been great.
These two feuding deceased queens of Broadway. That is hilarious. No, we will do Patti and we will do Audra. So let's first begin.
I really should. I can't believe I don't know. I have a guess. I've listened to Patty's audiobook. Like, if you have not listened to
I'm surprised you don't know her middle name. I'm surprised you don't know her middle name.
I'm just going to be like,
I didn't. I listened to it twice and I didn't.
Say it's Karen.
Well, let me give you some clues first. She was born in 1949 and she was born on April 21st of that year, which I believe makes her
an Aries.
Is that an Aries? She's an Aries?
Yeah, Aries.
Okay. Yeah. She was born in Northport, New York, which is a town next to where my parents lived, Long Island.
Everyone's from Long Island.
And Patricia, or Patti, and LuPone are her birth first and last names. I don't know why I'm speaking like that. William Shatner. It's because I was looking through the wrong part of my lenses.
I'm going to think, since her first full name, since Patricia, I'm going to say Anne.
Okay.
Dominick, I can't believe I'm guessing this name, but I think it's Louise.
Wow.
I think it's Louise. Is it not Louise?
This is what I want. I want to do something different. We're gonna do both
wait.
names. We're gonna wait a second. We're gonna hang on to your tits, everybody.
Okay.
Let's do Audra McDonald. Audra McDonald, born July 3rd, 1970. So
a Cancer.
Okay.
Yep. Power
Born
to 'em.
in West Berlin, West Germany, of all places.
Interesting.
What is an Audra? It does appear that Audra and McDonald are her original birth certificate, first and last. What is Audra McDonald's middle name?
Margaret.
Christopher?
I want to guess Louise again.
Okay.
I'm going to guess Louise for both.
All right. Now, I don't know what you're expecting me to say. Obviously, there's something special happening here, but I think it's really special because these women, one of the stories of our year is, of course, are they feuding? Are they not after that New York article, blah, blah, blah. Their middle names are both Anne.
I was right.
Wait, you were right. Good job, Jess. Good job, Jess.
You were
Holy
right about
shit.
Patty.
Wow.
But you get a point for Patty. But the fact that these two are like at the top of their games at all times and are now supposed frenemies, they have the same middle name.
And inextricably linked through their middle name.
Inextricably.
It must have been deep within my subconscious that I knew it was.
Yeah, probably.
Patricia Ann.
But Anne is a perfect guess for that time and the whole thing,
Well, all
Patricia
I know
Ann.
is
Come on.
if the middle initial on
Can
your
you imagine?
luggage embroidery is the same, the two of you should be friends. That's all I have to say about it.
Yeah.
Patty Ann Lapone, known as Pal. Audra Ann McDonald, known as Am. I would guess parents should have rethought that.
Yeah.
Get it together. That's what we want.
Okay, Jess, give us your, like you explained a little bit, but like tell us. I mean, obviously we could go through Broadway and talk about musical theater, but like we don't, everyone knows.
We're not going to do that. Well, if we start doing that, we should we should steer away from doing that. Because I think we would dominate.
No, everyone knows. Everyone gets Broadway. We get it.
Yeah.
Theater, musicals. We all go to them. Yeah.
I can simply break it down in terms of the actual theater going experience. Let's talk about Broadway. Think about what you go through in order to see a Broadway show in the theater district. If you're going to see Sunset Boulevard, if you're going to see whatever's opening this year, Rocky Horror, Cats the Jellicle Ball, these are all opening at Studio 54, et cetera.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. What is that experience like? And there's a whole list of horrible interactions that you're going to have, and then a lack of comfortability. So I think there's a lot to talk about there. And then also the actual state of theater, particularly, I think musical theater is worse than straight play theater at this point. But yeah, just, it's sort of like, where's the artistry? Where are the new not the new playwrights, but the new, what are they called? Composers and, musical theater writers, whatever the specific word is for musical theater, the composers, the lyricists, et cetera. I mean, I don't know that we've had a breakthrough person since Lin-Manuel Miranda,
No, we haven't.
Schwartz. I mean, was Jonathan Larson the last great hope for what our generation would have been, and we never saw it fully realized? I think it opens a lot of questions. When you look at Redwood, how the hell did that make it to Broadway? I know we're time stamping this.
Literally, my friend, Natalie Katona, who has been on the show before, was like, can we go see this weird fucking musical where Idina Menzel just climbs a tree for no reason at all? And I was like,
nuts
it was, she was like, let's do it just because it's going to be the worst thing ever. And we're going to laugh at it. And I want to be able to look back and say that I went to this monstrosity of a terrible thing. You know what I mean?
Because two types of people go to see shows. You either are a Broadway person, which you'll go not see anything and everything, but you like it in a way that, half the people at your Thanksgiving table are like, I love Broadway. And the other half of the table is like, the city is a dump. I would never go see a show. Gay people live on the first half. So you will go to anything. And the reason that show, Redwood, specifically made it through everything is because it had, I literally was going to say Adele Dazeem, is because it had Idina Menzel attached to it. And she's one of maybe 6 or 7 names of people who are Broadway celebrities that if you put them in something, it's going to get fast-tracked. I don't think Jonathan Larson was the last person of your generation. I just think it is entirely too hard to mount a Broadway show. And I have been, as I've become a mature adult, I've been getting more phone calls from people. I know a lot of people that are producers and investors in Broadway shows. The minimum buy-ins for shows that I know are going to fail is, and I'm talking about you don't even get tickets to opening night or a drink ticket. The minimum buyout to just put it on your resume is like $25,000 for something that you already know is going to be
terrible,
not good, but is there for another reason. Like there's a celebrity attached to it.
It's $25,000.
So basically, if someone had called me about a show a few months ago and the buy-in was $25,000 and there were no celebrities in it, and it was something I hadn't heard of before, that actually gives me pause because I think to myself, how did this make it? Who had to fuck somebody to make this happen? Because it is truly impossible to get something that far north in the process, and the only way to get it done, it's the same thing with movies. It's you've got to have someone big attached to it, or just keep your fingers crossed that it's going to get enough of a following.
I think what also most people don't understand is that out of say like 46 new musicals open over the last 5 years, let's just like make that number up, only like maybe 3 to 5 max will recoup that initial investment. It is the riskiest.
And it takes years.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Do you know Sunset Boulevard did not recoup last year?
But is that
just like the American leg of it? Like,
yeah, I don't know about the West End, but your very own Pussycat Boulevard, the buzziest show in maybe since before the pandemic. I would say it was the buzziest show since what? I don't want to forget about Hamilton. It's the only show that
there's always one or two every year, but that was definitely of that year. That was the one. It was that and Audra with Gypsy. They were sort of competing.
But let's ask why that is true. Because there's no sets. The wardrobe is minimal. Where did the money go is my question. And I think it's at the top. There's people that are taking huge amounts of money, including Nicole Scherzinger for being in it, which she's the main character.
Lloyd.
Jamie Lloyd's probably taking a fat cut.
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
That's, I think, the problem, because that's the biggest, there's nothing on the stage, right? Isn't it just them? She's in bare feet, and there's one time where she has blood coming out. You know what I mean? When she, spoiler, kills someone, there's blood everywhere. I don't see them spending the money anywhere.
The reason that it did not recoup is because it was a limited run. Jamie Lloyd had the option of extending it past the summer. And I think they had some people in the running potentials to replace Nicole, who was not going to move forward. Yeah. And he made the decision, I'm done. He chose not to go with any of those other people.
Sure.
And so if it had run through this entire season, I'm sure it would have, because it was making so much money. That show sold out.
I thought the first thing you were going to come on and say is that the ticket prices are higher than they've ever been, ever. So that part of it, to me, also is there's all this stuff happening, and I'm paying money. Tomorrow, when this episode will come out way later, but when we're recording this tomorrow, Dominick and I and the bunch of us are going to see Jane Krakowski and O'Mary, and the tickets were not cheap, and it's a 90-minute one-act play. Do you know what I mean? It was very expensive.
Well, interesting. I'm glad you brought up O'Mary. O'Mary recouped very quickly
because again, Cole Escola did not take $750,000 of the money from it, I'm assuming.
No, but a lot of the stuff that we're talking about is actually, I know we're spitballing here, but if you go online and ask the bots why Sunset Boulevard didn't make the money back, they said because it was a high budget, high running costs. I know what Chris is saying about the set design and all the other accoutrement being minimal. I don't know enough really about below the line stuff at the theater, like about how much that costs and what there's theater rentals and there's union crews everywhere, which are also very expensive. Yeah. I would guess that Nicole Scherzinger, honestly, like, I'm sure she didn't do it for free, but a lot of times when people do Broadway, they're doing it for different reasons and they take a lower, they're still the they're still the top line of the budget. There's no doubt about that, but they're not like, I don't think they're trying to break the bank, but it said that it cost $15 million to do Sunset Boulevard and that it lost around $20 million. And that a lot of the show's success was so tied to Nicole Scherzinger. And like Jess had said, that the difficulty in recasting her is what contributed to the financial loss. I feel like the line to take over that role, no matter how legendary Nicole's performance was, I would do it, even if I didn't think I could do it. Like if I'm Beanie Feldstein, I'm still doing Funny Girl too. I don't give a fuck. Put me on Broadway, you know? Yeah. Who could have done it? Like, since we're just here gabbing.
Who could have done it?
Stunt cast. It's like stunt casting.
No, but they'd have to really be able to sing it.
No, it would have to be somebody who can sing. This isn't like a Del McKelly thing where they can stick anybody in there.
No, it's not Chicago.
Well, this was the surprise about Nicole, which I'll stick by. I mean, she acted and sang the living shit out of that part. Like, it was stunt casting, but then ended up being Tony worthy. That's what I would hope.
My mind keeps saying Christina Aguilera.
She's too lazy.
Interesting.
Ooh, she's too lazy. I'm sorry to say, she's too lazy. And I will literally tell her that to her face. She would never want to do that much work.
She's here. She's actually here.
Bring her in.
Tina. TT.
Let me think about this. I almost want to say, like, if she could sing like a Zoe Saldana, can she sing good enough to do it? I can see her doing it.
She can sing. We heard her sing in, I haven't said this in a long time, Emilia Perez. We did hear her sing in that.
Great.
It wasn't like Nicole level. Like, no,
Penis to Vagina was not.
I was just going to say, Chris, what was that iconic line?
Yes. Penis to Vagina
had to have been somebody with a serious musical performing career. It would have had to have been like Ariana Grande. Like,
I was literally going to say,
or like fucking
Ariana.
Stick Mariah Carey in Sunset Boulevard.
I mean, she could never. She could never.
That makes me lightheaded. Only because
I mean, can you imagine like Kristen
Mariah doesn't
Doty?
move on stage. She can't be in a Broadway musical unless she's playing the Broadway musical of Stephen Hawking and she's Stephen Hawking, because Mariah does not move on stage.
What was that movie, like The Theory of Everything or whatever?
Yeah. That's it. Mariah is in The Theory of Everything, the musical, as Stephen Hawking.
No, but I was going to say Ariana Grande, but she would never do it because she's on the Wicked train for the rest, like she just wouldn't have done it. Like, she couldn't have done it.
You know what? The girl who wound up doing Rachel Zegler, who wound up doing Evita,
she could have done it.
Somebody like,
she's too young though. I need someone mature.
Yeah, that's true.
That is
true. That's true.
Because Nicole Scherzinger is like 45, which was even maybe a teeny bit too young to do the part, but she pulled it off. You need to see like a real. You know who would actually, and I don't want to shit anybody because some of us are friends with her and some of us are friends with people who work on her other shows. But if she could pull it off, I'm going to stand by this till the day I die. The greatest Norma Desmond in history would be the Countess Luann.
I know you were going to say. No. Dominick, stop. Stop. Like, don't do this.
Tell me if I'm wrong, though. I just want to know if I'm wrong.
No, you're not.
Like, if she could sing the shit out of that. By the way, to sweeten the pot of Lou taking over that role, perhaps in a regional touring production.
Yeah, no, regional. Keyword regional.
The song Money Can't Buy You Class would fit effortlessly into the narrative of Sunset Boulevard.
P.S. Still, in my opinion, the best Bravo song to ever exist. By a mile.
Yeah,
only to number 2 be Chic C'est La Vie.
C'est bon.
C'est bon, c'est bon.
So should we move on to like the actual, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts as far as the actual theater going experience? Let's start with like big Broadway. Aside from the fact that the tickets are very expensive, shouldn't at this state, like I really thought during the pandemic, I thought, great, they're going to rip out all those seats. This is when eventually we'll get construction crews back in there who can work. And this whole thing should be theme parkified. There should be like fast pass lines to go through, and it should be the movie theater experience. Seats should be reclining. They should be raked, or there should be a much better rake. Stadium seating, they should put seats on the sides. But no, we're still in these seats that are built for people born in the 1920s.
I think there's a halfway, you're not wrong, but I think that the comfortability level of being in the theater, it does need to be raised. I'm a little more of a purist. Like when I see the way that people dress at the theater, still, I am an old faggot and I understand this, but like I see flip-flops, I see baseball caps, and I get very Patti LuPone about it, where I'm like, you are at a Broadway theater. If it costs you $200 to go somewhere, that doesn't, to me, you can be two kinds of people. You'd be like, I fucking paid for this, I'm going to wear sweatpants. But I'm like, no, I paid $200 for this. I'm going to look decent. I'm not going to wear
I literally
shorts.
just packed all my nicest shoes, and I was like, well, one of these is going to have to come out for when we go to the theater tomorrow. Like, I'm going to have to repack it because I'm not going to wear my New Balance, like, dad shoes to the fucking theater tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to wear shoes. I'll still wear jeans, but I'm not going to look, they'll be like nice jeans. Like,
yeah,
I'm
sure.
gonna look
no, but like a nice
presentable.
outfit. Like, if you went to a nice dinner, you could still be in jeans, but that doesn't
And it's
mean-
so strange.
So okay, so fine, we're not renovating these historic theaters.
Jess,
But
you're,
short
wait.
of-
But
Oh,
you're not
wrong, though.
You're not
You're not
wrong, but
wrong.
I don't want reclining. Like, no, like, because at the end of the day, like,
your feet up as you're
reclining is-
watching.
no, I don't recline.
This is not Alamo Draft House. I'm watching Ragtime. Jessica.
And again, they're packing. No, it's not Alamo Draft House. Period. And again, you know me. I'm beelining to that Dolby Theater to go see Wicked, where I can like lay down and basically be like catatonic as the speakers rattle my body out of the seat because of the music. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm down in every way, and I will be drinking 72 ounces of Coke Zero and eating more popcorn than like my body weight. But in theater, when we went and saw Sarah Snook in The Picture of Dorian Gray, and we were like second row, my blood was pumping because we were so close to her, and you were seeing her act, and it was so fucking good. And you were like, I was so connected. I could have been sitting on a pine cone like throne, and I would have been like, this is the most comfortable seat in the whole house, because
not a pine cone throne.
I was going to say porcupine, and then I said pine cone. But like, I could have been sitting on a porcupine, and I would have been like, I'm having the best time. So I know what you're saying. However, I feel that invites even more tourism, like touristy people that don't know how to dress, are rude, will talk during the musical, that I'm like, I don't want that.
Fair.
But you are right that it's uncomfortable.
So can we talk about at least the experience getting into the theater? Why is it always mass chaos?
Mass chaos.
It should be, if you're in the orchestra, you're going to the left. If you're in the mezzanine, you're down the middle. If you're in the balcony, you're to the right. Why is everyone going in the same tiny doors? And it is just a herd mass chaos.
And there's not enough bathrooms for how many people are there. And there's not enough, like, if you want to get a drink before the show, you have to like pray that you're going to get it before the show starts. Like, when I go in and I'm there when the doors are opening, like, I'm not showing up 5 minutes before curtain. And like, the lines to get a drink or a refreshment are out the door. I agree with you there. It's horrifically bad. There's not enough people, like ushers, helping you to your seat.
Mm-hmm. Do you know there are so many times that I don't even get offered a playbill?
Oh, I hold my hand out every time. I never wait. And I'm also notorious from grabbing from the pile on my way out. There's always
I
a
just
pile
think
like sitting on the floor. I always
fact
grab
that,
two.
that the operations is terrible. There's a breakdown in the operations.
Well, I will say this in defense of all those people working there. The reason anything is chaos has a lot to do with us being flawed as a species. Like, we don't know how to do anything orderly. We only know how to make sure that and I'm guilty of this as well. No virtue signaling here about like, I'm going to get in there. I paid a lot of money. I'm going through here, blah, blah, blah. This is not part of my pitch, but I do believe if they opened the theater more and had something to do in there, like if they opened the doors at 5 for a 7 or 7:30 show.
I was thinking the same thing.
People could go in and like have a drink. People would do that. Like people who need help sitting down or don't like crowds would absolutely get there at like 5 or 5:30. I remember thinking something along these lines when we went to go to the Sphere in Vegas. And if you have a VIP ticket there, you go to this separate room that's not in the Sphere where there's like a limited number of tickets. They're more expensive, but there was a cash bar and complimentary food in there. And I was thinking they're treating this like a live theater
like a concert,
which they should be. Yeah. And there is something there. The word reclining, I think, set both Christopher and I off.
Yeah, it did.
I can't be laying down when Audra McDonald takes to the stage. Like I like, you know, it's
and I have too much respect. I have too much respect for them to do that. You know what I mean? Like I get, because that invites chaos, more chaos.
That being said, by the way, I have to publicly apologize for wearing a sleeveless shirt to see Jinx Monsoon in Penzance a few months ago. I apologize. I forgot when I left the house that day that we were going to the theater that night. It was the summer. I had no cover up. I was unwilling to go to a tourist store and buy a sweatshirt, and I watched from the audience in a sleeveless.
What do you guys tend to enjoy more? A big Broadway show, or say Titanic, Messy White Gaze, like the Ginger Twinsies, like that sort of thing, a downtown experience?
I think they're two different things.
I love all of it. Yeah.
I think they're two different things. I think that Oh Mary is a perfect example of something that was a downtown, something that became like a legitimate, real, like Michelin star, if you will, where it's like you're going to New York just to see Oh Mary kind of a thing. And it's same thing with, I mean, Titanic was like this little shitty musical that was in the the old upright, the UCB, that like the first time I saw it, it was like, I mean, like, I'm like, the three of us could have written this. You know what I mean? Like it was great and I loved it, but it was like, it was good. But I was like, I could have done this, but they did it right. And they did it like correct. And they did it proper, as I like to say. And it became a humongous success. And I feel like there's a lot of theater now that is trying to jump on the back of Titanic. And I feel like Oh Mary is the one that like succeeded because it ran.
It's a
because
diamond in the rough.
Yes.
That never happens. I also think that if Titanic had gone to Broadway, it would never have been as successful as Oh Mary, because even though it appeals to similar audiences, Titanic was so right to stay where it was and then go to the West End, where it's like a giant smash there now as well, maybe even bigger than it was in the US. But it's so funny because those are both very recent success stories of recouping an investment, and they come from very small beginnings, both of them, like truly.
I guess I tend to like the smaller stuff better because it's riskier.
100%.
And I also find the quality is better. I think there's just fewer cooks in the kitchen. And I just find that I've had a better time, a better experience. And it's a smaller number of people. And not for nothing, I don't need to be anywhere for 2.5 hours plus an intermission. I want a 90-minute show. I want to get out.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing for other than like a few like movies. I'm like, does this have to be 2.5 hours when it really could be 90 minutes?
That's been happening more often recently, where you're seeing stuff that doesn't have an intermission. That's 90 minutes or 2 hours without one. Like that's been happening a lot more than when I started going to shows in literally the last century.
What were each of your first New York theater experiences? Like when you were kids, like formative memories coming into the city with your parents, from Jersey, from Long Island. What did you see? What was the thing? What was the first thing you saw? And what was the thing that like turned you on?
The first time I ever came to New York was in 2002, because I'm from like almost Ohio, Pennsylvania. So I'm like from very far away. And then the first musical I ever saw in New York was Spam-A-Lot.
Oh, that's a good one, though.
For my 16th
that was
birthday.
like the show of the year.
Yes.
Yeah,
for my 16th birthday. And we loved Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail, like as a family, loved. And so it's basically that on stage. And so that was the first musical I ever saw on Broadway.
And I've been asked this before, and it's so funny because I can't say specifically what it was, but it was either Annie or Ain't Misbehavin', the original run with Ms. Nell Carter. It was one of those. And the reason I can't remember is because I was truly a baby when both of those were out. Like I was under the age of 8 for both of those. So I can't remember which one. But the one I remember like in my head was a musical called The Mystery of Edwin Drood, which is where it was from a Dickens, an unfinished Charles Dickens novel where the audience decides the ending. And I went there in high school. We went, and that's like the one I remember from beginning to end the best is that. And then also insisting the day after the prom that we all go see Into the Woods, and still went to the prom with a woman. Go on.
I think when I was in junior high, like elementary and junior high, I don't remember the first, I would have to like really think back what the first big Broadway show I saw was. And also I think it was during that era, like in the 90s, there was sort of this big lull in Broadway history where there weren't a lot of new musicals being produced. So really the thing that came out at the perfect time for me was Rent. In 1996.
Of course.
That is the formative piece of theater, like forever. And I would go on to see it like 13, 14 times. Like I was a rent head on the street.
You don't say.
Yeah.
I couldn't picture you doing that at all.
No, it was like Hamilton. It was a transformative experience for the theater. It really was. I'm trying to think of what the one would be before that, because Hamilton and Rent are almost like the obvious choices. I'm trying to go back even further and think what would have been before that. I mean, it had to be the Phantom and Les Mis era.
Yeah,
like
the Phantom of the Opera. Yeah.
I saw Phantom. Yeah, all the Andrew Lloyd Webber stuff I saw. Like I saw all of that. But I'm trying to think if there was anything. You know what's so funny? Do you remember Smokey Joe's Cafe, Dominick? So
yes.
I vividly remember going into the city with my best friend in junior high. Her parents took us in and we saw that. But that again was just like a jukebox musical before they called them jukebox musicals. But yeah, I mean, overall, in terms of like the quality, there is no, like, who's the Stephen Sondheim of today? Even like, first of all, Sunset Boulevard is a revival. Like, the Sunset Boulevard was by far the best thing I saw last year. And I think if you even look at new musicals versus revivals, there are very, very few new good musicals. That's where the real drought is. I mean, look, Cats the Jellicle Ball, ultimately that's a revival. They're reinventing it.
Sure.
Rocky Horror, that's what I'm psyched about for next year. Revival. And so when you look back to what's known as like the golden age of Broadway, think about My Fair Lady, Oklahoma, Guys and Dolls. And then as it evolved into like Hair, like there was a time where these things were brand new. And I just don't know, maybe it's just too expensive. Maybe the talent just isn't there because they died. Well,
it's also a very unique lane. I mean, musical theater is also, there are some people who, and honestly, understandably, who are like, I don't understand why people will just be talking and then just break into song. I don't get it either, but I love it. And you either do love it or you don't. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You either can get past that or you can't. So it's not like a movie where you're aiming, musicals in particular, where you're just aiming at a very specific slice of people who would want to see it in general, like we were saying before. And so the challenge is always like, how are we going to, I mean, it's pretty political. You think about it. How do we keep the base happy, but also invite younger, fresher people to enjoy it? And that's why you get a lot of jukebox stuff. That's why you hear about like a Britney Spears jukebox movie. That's why The Lost Boys is coming. That's why The Outsiders is coming. It's got to just be too expensive for the trial and error. That's it. It just has to be way too expensive.
I think it's a lack of talent.
I know. I think it's a lack of cultivating the talent that's there.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is. Because the people are going. Like, people are going to the theater. It's not that people aren't showing up to get tickets. Like, everything's selling. Like, is it not? I mean, you're looking for like the next Rent to happen and like blow all of our socks off.
Yeah. Like, I want to be rocked. I want to be physically like feeling a sensation as I'm watching it and then not be able to get it off of my mind for months.
Yeah.
That
Correct.
To me is you have moved me. You have touched me in a way.
Well, you're speaking about musicals specifically in that moment then, right? It's not going to be as impactful as Rent or Hamilton, but I do feel like Oh, Mary was an actual moment. Like, for a play, a comedy play, to get as much positive feedback as this one has gotten. And that's truly, Oh, Mary itself is the marriage of many things, because we knew Cole before seeing it off Broadway 2 years ago. We knew that he was irreverent. We knew he was playing Abe Lincoln's wife. We knew that this was irreverent, and everything about it sounded like standard downtown. I can't wait to brag about this at cocktail parties, blah, blah, blah. And the moment, and this was the opinion of a lot of people, we saw the play and we walked outside the theater. We were like, this play is utterly ridiculous. And it's also really fucking good. Like narratively, the story is tight. There's twists, there's ingenuity. Like it's very hard to poke a hole in what Cole has written. So there is something to be said for his talent. And I think that same thing happened with A Strange Loop. Like what was so unique about A Strange Loop, like Chris mentioned, it's like, if you don't have like a twist, it's gotta be so good that it's gotta be cream. You know, it's gotta be that.
The other problem is then like, okay, I'm sure the guy, who was the person that did A Strange Loop? Let me just know their name.
Michael R. Jackson. I'm sure got swooped up by CAA or WME or one of them. And then I bet you that he is in like, you know, like the ants go in a circle until they die. Like he's doing that right now at his whatever CAA signed him. He's literally just like being passed around and being like, right on this. What about this thing? What about this thing? And he's going to be in that loop he's going to be in a strange loop forever in some management thing. Am I wrong? You're not wrong, but if memory serves, it's also like when you've had a hit like that, it becomes very, very difficult, if almost not impossible, to follow it up. And I think he was doing a similarly themed show called White Girls in Danger. I think it was also a musical. And I remember there being buzz about it. And then maybe it just didn't come to Broadway. And I don't remember. But it didn't make a splash like at all. Like A Strange Loop was a moment. But really quickly, it's like the other problem is like Cole is now just been announced that like they're doing
Miss Piggy.
Miss Piggy movie. Right. So it's like these people that have this talent on Broadway, Lin-Manuel Miranda, are then being siphoned into Hollywood. And then they're not there in theater to do more theater. So that's the other huge problem, is that as soon as someone has something successful, like, you know that Megan Hilty and fucking Jennifer Simard and then the guy are like, you know that the minute that they're off of Death Becomes Her, they're all going to have some movie deal to do something in a movie. Because they have to live. Yeah. Well, because that's how they make money. You know, it's almost like you go through the Broadway grind to get a series, but then come back. I mean, no one does that more beautifully than Audra McDonald. I mean, she's traveling like TV and film and theater all at the same time. Yeah. She did good, of course. Yeah.
Patty as well.
Not everyone can do that. Patty as well.
And just like that, never forget. Just never forget. Here's what I think. I'm going to give a two-pronged approach to this fix.
Here we go with the prongs, not the prongs.
One prong is as follows. Jess, you were wrong about the reclining seats, like in an AMC theater, Nicole Kidman's AMC theater.
I can't have a blanket while I'm watching Patty on stage.
Absolutely may not. But what you can have is more concessions.
Tell me more.
I want not only more drinks, I need more bartenders. I think that Dominick, like in general, like a fix that we're just both pitching is like the door should happen earlier in the day. Like it should be open. If it shows at 7:30, the door should open at 6, period. Minimum.
I'd say even earlier.
I want more concessions.
What the opera does. They open up hours before and you can eat dinner there.
Yes. Like I want buckets of popcorn. I want not just like M&Ms and nothing else. Like I want, you can make, every movie theater makes all their money on concessions, period. Like I want to pay for my ticket. And then again, I'm never getting a drink because I don't want to wait in the line. I need like an app where I can like order my things ahead of time and pick them up like they do in the movie theater. I want like popcorn machines. I want a Coke Freestyle machine that I can like do my Coke Freestyle. I'm buying a Coke Freestyle.
What Dominick, what Chris is getting at is he wants to turn the theater into a bathhouse. He wants to be able...
I would never eat the food at a bathhouse. So I don't know what bathhouse you've gone to.
I want like the movie theater concession experience, and they could make so much money. I'm buying a large popcorn. Like every movie I get, even if Hassan and I are like, do we want something? Then we end up getting the $30 2 huge Coke Zeros and a popcorn. And I give them an extra $30. I'm not getting in that line to get a Stella Artois because I don't want to wait in the line for 30 people. I need more. I need more people serving me, and I need better concessions. And you're making so much more money every show.
Are you allowed to eat this concession food once the show has started? Or do you have to finish it? But now everyone's munching on popcorn while Audra is singing.
But don't they already have like Skittles and stuff? Like you can buy like Skittles, you can buy M&Ms and stuff.
I hear people eating them. Yeah,
you have way less. I mean, popcorn's way less loud than that. Those bags ruffling around. Did you see that? Michelle Williams just did a video where she was like, when I'm singing, this is what I hear you when you're like eating a bag of chips. And she just starts rustling the chips and then eating one. And it's like, and she's like, and then she's like rustling the chips. And then she's like, and she's like,
that's hilarious.
And she's like, and when I'm up there, I'm hungry. And so I hear you eating the chips.
That's hilarious.
It was so funny. But like, sure. But again, you're making money. I'm spending money. And the experience is better because I'm not like dry as a bone, like SpongeBob when he's in Sandy's treehouse, being like, water. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, that is water. That is fantastic. I've never done that before.
All the references.
That, and then my second prong is I need my somewhat nemesis, Lin-Manuel Miranda, to start a like artist's residency for theater, where he is cultivating the next group of playwrights. I need him to use his powers for good in the sense of, I need like some sort of like, not like LaGuardia school, but like some kind of school or something.
They do that. They have those incubators. My friend is a
sure, but they're
composer. They have these.
Okay, where's the talent, Jess? You're the one telling me.
She was working on it 15 years ago when I knew her really well. She was working on a Benjamin Button thing that we still haven't seen the light of day.
There you go. So I'm saying like I need an A-list celebrity, Lin-Manuel Miranda, to be like, I'm doing this new school and it's going to be the biggest thing ever. And he can actually like make the waves of like go on, talk shows and talk about it and have all these celebrities donate money and come and do talks and all this shit. And then again, these celebrities, much like, I can't believe this is the reference I'm giving, but like, when Maggie Rogers was in NYU and then Pharrell came and listened to her song Alaska, that video went the most viral thing of all time. And she became, I mean, like, does she have that much of a career now? But like, Anne Hathaway, whoever the fuck else, this new, introducing this new mind named blah, blah, that gets us somewhere where then we're hearing something. And that's what I think needs to happen. Because you are right. The talent, I'm not seeing the talent of like new, interesting, like Book of Mormon is something like, of course, the South Park guys are so famous, but like they were like, hold on, let us do what we do, but in this other genre. And it like became the biggest musical like ever for a decade. And so it's like, where's that? Could they come in and help? You know what I mean? That they could help and do a new thing and get 50% of it. And that's my pitch.
You have to wait for Chris to say, and that's my pitch. You can't jump in and host for Chris. Just, we know you have a list of grievances, but how dare you? So obviously, Jess, I think when you're considering these pitches, since part of both of our pitches, there's one prong that's the same, you'll have to judge from all the other prongs. Like we both agree that we need to be open up at least 2 hours before to just sort of enhance the experience. I think two main things here. The first of all is that Patty Ann Lupone will be the commissioner of theatrical events in New York City, and part of her inspection duties is to stand in theaters and see if sound is bleeding from next door. That's literally, we're going to make that her job now.
How dare you?
Because I know that she will say, if the sound is good, more people are going to come to the theater. That's exactly how she'll say it. Second thing is, I want all theater to be immersive. Like when I go to see The Outsiders, I want 1 out of every 7 people getting the shit beaten out of them in the foyer. That's got to be part of the risk of going. I'm taking all of these ideas back, by the way. Although I do like immersive theater, I don't want anyone to be violated. This is my real pitch. I think that, and this really can only do this in New York City. I think that because gym class is compulsory, and because it's part of the lifeblood of the city, I know that schools take trips and stuff. I think that seeing a Broadway show should be compulsory once a year, maybe twice, all 4 years that you are in high school in New York City, maybe even junior high as well. I think that's a way to introduce people to the theater earlier than they might, is to make it compulsory. And that's how you find new talent. I mean, I don't know how you would do that in other cities, but I know, I'm not saying let's replace the choir and music class. I don't know how much of that is compulsory in the New York City school system, but I think part of that should just be the city funds Broadway by having these kids go for free, like paying for kids to see Broadway shows, because it is an incredibly unique part of what the city is. I mean, obviously performances take place on every other corner of the globe, but there's one Broadway. Like there is no, it's like Broadway is the term you use when you're describing other things, like the Broadway of sports or the Broadway of fast food places. At least this queen uses Broadway as an example for that. Like my dad doesn't. But so that's really the only thing I can think of really is like making it, opening them early, but just making it compulsory to come here. I tend to think that per capita, there are probably more creative people growing up in New York City than there are in other places, because so many of us are descended from those people. Like they all live here and they're having kids here. So I think it's not a waste of money to keep this sort of business alive. Some people make it compulsory for their citizens to join the army or not keep a limit on how many children they're going to have. I think we should just say, go to the theater. Because what's more American than the Broadway theater? It's such a greatest, it's what I hope we all can agree is at least the loveliest of our sometimes problematic traditions. And that's my pitch.
All right, Jess, those are your pitches. How do you feel? Do you have any reactions? What's up?
I mean, I think they're all great. I think schools definitely do field trips into the city to see theater, but I do think like that exists in some capacity, but I don't know at what scale. And I think I really love that idea, and they should be starting maybe in like 5th grade, maybe starting younger, and it should be an every year thing. And the kids who decide, oh, I really love the costumes. Like it could oh my God, spark a kid who's been drawing on the side to like now turn into a full faggot and like start sketching. Like,
I agree. It's definitely I do agree, because I think by making it compulsory like that, it will make kids who are too embarrassed to admit they like it. It will make it easier because they'll all be talking about it,
and it'll become obvious that this is a real job. Sure. Somebody builds the sets, even if you don't, even if you're not a great singer or you don't want to be a quote unquote actor. Oh my God, I really want to work in theater. I could help build the set. Somebody's up there like designing these lights.
And it could work. Compulsory gym class did not turn Christopher or I into Olympians, but
sure didn't.
I think that the theater way would be a little bit more.
Yeah. I think I'll go with that one as my favorite, because I think it could then stem into what even Chris is talking about, like then building out incubators for those young minds.
Yeah. I really thought that I addressed all of your concerns, but okay. I really feel like I really just solved every problem you had with Broadway, but sure, yes.
I've never heard Chris clap back like this after a decision. This is worse than Drag Race, actually, when the queens go back at Rue.
Dominick, congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you.
Jess Rothschild. A whirlwind is what this has been, obviously.
We love
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming back again, as always. Where can people find you and where can they listen to your podcast?
Yes, you can find me Instagram, JessXNYC, and hot takes and deep dives. That's everywhere. You can just go to Instagram and you'll see links to everything.
If you all have not listened to it yet, Cult of Body and Soul, her deep dive on the Soul Cycle phenomenon was absolutely incredible.
Oh, thank you.
And that's and you can pick that up whenever you need to.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's can be listened to in 5 years if you need it to be, but it was incredible.
I'd like you to get to it a little sooner.
No, not 5 years, but I'm just saying it doesn't, you know what I mean? You can pick it up whenever you're ready to listen to a really, really, really good documentary in audio form. Dominick, where can people find you?
My website's salmonterry.com. My socials are at Dominick Pupa. Christopher, where can the listeners of this podcast find you on the World Wide Web?
You can find me at the Chris DeRosa. You can find the show at Fixing Famous People, and you can find the Patreon at patreon.com/fixingfamouspeople. I wish you both well, and as always, where's Shelley? Goodbye.